I'm on time today. That's unusual. Hey, everybody. Mods, thank you for being here. Hey, Debbie A. Yeah, there's apparently a lot of storms. Hey, Heather Marie Houston. It's super windy here, and it looks like it's going to start storming at some point, but it is like the wind. I feel like this house is going to just collapse. Let's all hope that doesn't happen. Hey, Annie Strews, West Coast Fancy Nancy. Pause for Andrea. Hey, Layla Bradley. Do you guys notice that my voice still isn't fully back? It's really getting annoying. I wish it would return back to normal. Phoenix Book Girl, if that's what that means, welcome. Hey, Mandy Albert, Dawn's here, Kim Wiseman, Deanna Downey. Hey, Catherine B, Rachel Sandy, Squirrel Girl, Laura Dupreet, Beach Bum Beagle, Lisa Vining. Today's your birthday, I think, Lisa. And yesterday, I missed a birthday yesterday, and I feel bad. I'm not sure who it was, but I want to say happy birthday. I haven't been doing so much with the chat lately, and I'm sorry for that. Candace, welcome. Hey, Liz Tricks. Lumen's here. Gemini Girl. Carla Childers. Hey, Leslie D. Shannon Trim. Tina Mays. Linda McMillan. Stella. Don Davies. Christy Lynn Wilson. Hey, Judy Dolan. Hey, Mike. Mike, did you switch to the dark side? That makes me sad. It's okay if you switch to the dark side, but like, just don't come around then. That makes me sad, Mike. I wish you well. Hey, teacher nurse, Monica M. Hey, Laurel, Mama Smurf, always late, Pajama Pixie. Love you, girl. Hey, Antoinette, Becky Mayo, Shane. I don't know how to say your last name, but you sound new to me. Welcome. Jessica M. What's the story, Tori? I haven't seen you for a while. I feel like. Good to see you, babe. Hey, Mary Haynes, Christy Kitts, Tracy Murphy, Just As I Am, Molly Moon, Nancy Lowe. What a nice thing to say. Good to see you have your eyes have a sparkle. I don't have any eye makeup on. That's so nice of you to say. I just threw some blush on, but thank you. Alana's here. Anne. Hey, Brother B, V McWilliams, Baby Steps, welcome. Hey, DNV, Callie Galley, Wisconsin Barb. Yes, it was Wisconsin Barb's birthday, and I feel bad that I did not acknowledge that. Happy birthday to her. Hey, Susie Q, SMG, Panama City, Florida. I feel like I heard that's a cool place. Figment, welcome. Thank you, Andy. Hey, Ruth Ann McCallop. What a cute last name. McCallop. I like that. Mousy, Mike, you're laughing, but I'm bummed, man. Take care, Mike. Take care. That sucks. Tony's Hooter, Anon. I feel like I haven't seen you for a minute, Anon. All right, Mike. Well, I'm glad to hear you're still in the light. We wish you well, Mike. Amanda, dear. Mona from Norway. Downs, Mom. Rosa Lang. Melissa McDonald, Janet Burns, Millie, hey babe, hey Wilford Harry, Jan, Aileen, Just Joan, hey Dark Sarcasm. I don't know what that means, Shane. Hey Sharona, Xenu in the Body Thetans. Good for you, girl. I'm happy for you. That's hilarious. I love my chat. Margie Barr. Thank you, Teresa. I'm proud of you for showing up while going through all this tough stuff. I love you. It's tough, but we're going to make it. It's going to be okay. I had therapy today and I'm feeling pretty good, actually. Hey, Galen. Welcome, Crafty Come Lately. Thank you for speaking out from Lurker Mode. Thank you, Nothing But Love. Emily Hampton, thank you. It's probably just the light. Everybody says I have good skin. Guys, I don't. I've done this before. Watch. It's just the lighting. That's why I look like I have too much blush on a lot, because I really do put on too much blush. I've kind of done that my whole life. If you see me without blush, which you have, I've come on with nothing. I put some on today. I look super sick. Like I look just really, really like zero color to my face. So I always feel like I need blush, and then I overdo it, and then people laugh at me, and I just laugh with them. Teresa Devers, because they're right. Like oftentimes I'll leave the house or something, and I'm like, oh, I have too much blush on. I just like to overdo it. I love blush on a person. I really do. Ruth. Yeah, you're welcome, Ruth. Mike was joking. Oh my God, Mike didn't leave us. Mike, you silly Sally. Oh my God. Do you know how much better I feel right now, Mike? You've been with me a long time. Dang, son. You had me fooled, Mike. You old silly. You old silly Sally. Libby Jackson, Darcy's, Catherine B. Let's go together. Melissa Courtney G, Mrs. T, longtime lurker. I love that. Hey, Carrie Lawfren. I said it wrong, I'm sure. Bonnie Lucas, Shannon Lee Armine. Happy heavenly birthday to your mother, Antoinette. That's beautiful. Damn, Mike, you had me snowed, man. Becky, new sub. Glad to see all the smiles. Samara, that's a cool name. I love that. Thank you for being here. Hey, Katie did. Hey, Jamie Palmer. How did I catch a live? Total accident. Gracie Madeline, you're cute. Welcome. Hey, Nicola. Heather Carr. Brother, I seem more calm. I am trying to keep, if I get revved up, Robin Miners, I'm glad to see you. Annika's mom, then my body gets all revved up. And I'm trying to, like I said, I had therapy today and I'm just trying to breathe and reboot. You know, I don't want to come on here and stir up drama and all of that as much as people may think that. I want to just move on, move forward, start fresh, and try as hard as we can to stay in our lane and not talk about other people, because that's just not what I do on this channel. It really isn't, guys. We're not going to comment on anything. We're just not. Boho Hobo, I haven't seen you for a minute and I haven't answered your email. I read it. I would be happy to chat with you. I don't want you to feel blown off. I just have a lot of emails. Amy Kimbrell, Shay B. Thank you, Shannon Trim. Hey, Caitlin. Thank you, Alana. It's called blushed blindness. I have it too. I'm not the only woman who has it. It's kind of funny though. Like, I realize I put too much blush on. I've known this way before YouTube. It's a thing for me. I've done it for a long time. I just love blushes too. I love violet. I love like more peachies. I love coral, pinks. Like, I like to play with blushes and then I overdo it like a small child. And that's probably because no one taught me how to put makeup on. And clearly I'm good at hair as well. You can tell I spent a long time working on myself today. Yeah. So Melissa McDonald, I get that. I don't need blush. Rosacea naturally colors my face. A lot of people have rosacea. I don't. And so when I like get out of the shower and I start putting on my skincare, I'm like, I look dead. I have no color at all to my face. So like, I don't have any other makeup on today. I just blotted a little blush on and I put a tiny bit of highlighter on top, but even I just put like a clear lip gloss on. I'm trying, guys. I just am not back to putting on makeup. And hey, Sarah, General Boa. I think I'm really behind. What time is it? Yep, I'm behind. I hate when I get really behind. Hey, Alicia. I did, Bonnie Lucas, and I'm really happy about it. Diana H, welcome. If I'm overlooking you guys, please don't feel upset. I'm just trying to hurry. Life is short. Casey's here. Welcome, Casey. Brandy Lewis, I appreciate that, girl. VT Kitten. Hey, Mark Hardman. Sorry you had a crappy day, Mark. Kestrel, you're not too late. Hey, J9. Jellycats. Justine. Is that a different Nicola? I think it is. Welcome. Linda Garden Lady. Hey, John. John. I'm not going to highlight that, man, but it gave me a little chuckle. Melissa, I am feeling good. I want to talk about that today. Monkey Shark. Thank you. Yeah, I'm still here, guys. I'm still here. Debbie Zito. Barely hanging on sometimes, but you know what? We're here. We're doing it. Karen Tootie Greeny, you know I love you. Laura May. It is a different Nicola. I knew it. I knew I wasn't wrong. I know my class. Hopefully we can still kick some ass and take names. Mike. Other Mike. Mike, welcome. Guys, Mike, you really had me, man. Barpo, welcome. Kentucky Blue Girl. Hey, Ruth. Lydia, hey Bigsy. Proud of you, my friend. Stay strong. Lucas and I love you. I love you and Lucas. He is so cute. I swam 25 meters. Oh my God, that little boy is so cute. Wendy Brewer, thank you for your super chat, babe. Raymond, yes, I love you. You know I do. Tamber June. Okay, Nicola. Interesting. Am I still? No, I just caught up. Hey, Kaz. Hey, Rhonda McNeil. John Shastowski, John Shamwowski, he's still around. I message with him privately. I love John. I just think, hey, Snoopy fan, I think he's taking a break from YouTube. I think a lot of people are doing that. Jellycats, they're not ready yet, but they're getting lenses put in. Drayston, welcome. If I Drayston, okay, I probably said it wrong. And I don't know what I was saying. I literally just went blank, and that happens to me a lot. Sierra Terry, you're an angel. Thank you for that super sticker. That is really kind, babe. Really, really kind. I love you. Thank you. Hey, Mandy J. So I saw December. Welcome. What? Really? Yeah, I'm kind of glad I left Kansas City. Now, you guys might even hear the wind here, but we don't. I wondered what it was going to be like in Tennessee winters, and it is not the same thing. Barpo, Hux is doing great. Thank you for asking. Huxley's actually doing quite well. We are both doing quite well. You may not believe that by looking at me, and I don't blame you because honestly, I tried, and this is the best I could do today. Hey, Randy Pearson. Lisa Kelson. Thank you, babe. Brother B, don't worry about it. I appreciate you checking in. A blizzard warning. I am glad I moved. That sucks. I don't miss that. We've gotten some snow here, but like really not much. Shannon C, hey babe, thanks for asking. Yeah, Tennessee weather is weird. He's a great kid, by the way, that didn't happen by accident. Heather Marie Houston, that is such a nice thing to say. Hey, Heather Landau, Kelly, welcome. Margaret Kelly Gorbett, thank you. Thanks, Kelly Williams. The folks here are amazing. Okay, Deborah Ricci, I'll try. I do. I got some rest. Yeah, I took a GABA again last night. I get that at Whole Foods, and it's good stuff, and it just makes you kind of chill out. Laura May, that is so nice, girl. Thank you for your super sticker. I mean that. Thank you. Hey, Lori Lee. HC from LBC, welcome. Thank you, Lisa Kelson. What made me choose Tennessee? My family's here. My mom and my stepdad and my sister live here, and her husband and kids. Beach Bum Beagle, thank you. Yeah, allergies are bad here though. Liz Tricks, be safe. That sucks. Thank you, one Sam to go. Guys, welcome. If there's any new people in here, if there's people who left and then have come back to my channel, I just want to say thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the support. And hey, Blessed to Crochet. Hey, babe. Welcome. I mean it. Melissa McDonald. Ooh, that sucks. Is it similar to the gummy? GABA is not. GABA is just an over-the-counter. The ones I take are like a tablet that you chew up. They're orange flavored. I got them at Whole Foods. Yes, Texas Sunshine. I was going to talk about that. Mike, you had me, Mike. GABA is my doctor that treated me for my diabetes in Kansas City. Hey, Carrie Ann recommended GABA. John, you're not getting kicked out. Recommended GABA for daytime, but she was like, it'll help you to sleep and relax, but it's not meant for sleep. It's just supposed to, Boris Cruz, it's supposed to help you to just relax, and it puts me to sleep. Hey, April Cowan. Becky USA, I'm happy to see you. Kafik, I love you, girl. Jenny Stout. This is so nice. I love seeing you guys. It's very, I've said this. It's just very Puka Vista. Hey, babe. No, it is not gabapentin. Nothing to do with gabapentin. It's over the counter. Gabapentin is a prescription. Fred took that for his nerve issues. Hey, baby doll. Gabapentin is totally different than GABA. This is just something I get it's all natural. Robbins in Missouri. So I wanted to talk. I just wanted to say first, though, thank you, Wendy Brewer. I appreciate you guys being here. I'm holding myself accountable by coming and showing up and looking like this. And I appreciate you guys showing up and talking to me, spending time with me. I really, really appreciate that. Would I be able to show the bottle? Here, I can just Google it. Although I don't know what brand GABA tablets, maybe? Images. Here it is. Although, see, I don't get this one. This is 750 milligrams, but this is it. That's the one that I buy. That's the brand. Calm Mind. It's good stuff. I like it. It's just a supplement, guys. It is not a prescription. So I had therapy today. I have not had therapy for a while, and I had therapy today, and I don't know how many of you were here yesterday. Kimmy Steele, thank you for saying that. Thank you for saying that, girl, and thank you for being a member. Yeah, Sprouts will sell it. All those health food stores sell it. Melatonin, I've tried that. This just I like it more, John. Hey, Evening Star. So I want you guys, yesterday I talked about something. I said in therapy, it's weird, but I haven't really addressed Scientology much. And I just want to say, hey, Aunt Lindy, I had therapy today. And I did, Mark. I really did. I really got into it with him about, I just kind of wanted to pick apart a couple of things that we talked about. And I love doing this with you guys. I like going deep because it was interesting. I looked at some things differently today and just kind of a different perspective. And it was wild. Hey, Chops World. And what do I talk about the most with my therapist? That's a great question, Barpo. Hey, Janet. Um, I would say right now, I talk about the most just everything current. I always just talk about current stuff. Like I talked about the move here. We talk about one of the biggest things my therapist pushed for me or since I've seen him. I don't talk about I have a new therapist, but I'm talking about the last therapist I had. He really wanted me to make friendships because that's something that he didn't feel like I had in my life. And I would say to him, I don't want to. I don't want friends. I don't need friends. I've never had friends. I don't need them now. Like never needed it before. And that is a huge breakthrough that I also realized today. And we talked about that yesterday. And it is the truth. Now more than ever, I really see it. I didn't care about friendships. I never cared. I did not value them. We wrote each other up in Scientology all the time, friends, and then you weren't friends, and then maybe you were friends. It was just no big thing to have friends. And for those reasons, you don't treat them great because it's not a true whole friendship. It's just one-sided. Hey, Allison Metcalf. Hey, Brenda's View. Yeah, Scientology friends are not real friends. So I just did a lot of thinking about this yesterday. Sharon, welcome. And this isn't exactly what I wanted to talk about, but I guess I'll just reiterate that is we talked about that today and just how much more I place value on that. And I never have. Teacher nurse, I do feel better. Yes. Yes. Hope between the dreams. Welcome, girl. Hey, Diane O'Connor. Hey, Pat Jonas. I just feel like I've really created and nurtured, is that the word? Hey, Kat, some friendships. Absolutely, Rachel. Yes, that's a yes. So Puka Vista, and now, thank you, Nana of Two. Now more than ever, since I'm not going to be in another intimate relationship with a person anytime soon, I want to really, really focus on me, Huxley, and creating my friendships, keeping my friendships, having those friends to lean on, listening to their stories. Like that's something that's new for me in the last few months of really caring and like wanting to talk, like craving it, I guess. I've never craved talking to people. I have I've always been a hermit about that. I can't tell you. Suppressive squirrel, I'm happy to see you. My whole life, I've had people say, like, how come you don't like my friends were always on the surface. I'd be like, I do have friends. She owns a store in downtown Kansas City. And they'd be like, you just go there to shop though. And I'm like, that's as far as I get with people. I don't want to let people in. But looking at it now, it's because I didn't care. I didn't want to take the time. Like, to be totally fair, people were kind of annoying to me. Like, it was kind of a burden to be like, okay, so let me tell you my whole life. Like, I didn't understand the building blocks of friendships. And if I didn't understand, I didn't put a lot of effort into it. And if I didn't put effort into it, I didn't really care. And hey, Philip, right? And so, and if I didn't care, I didn't value it. And I didn't value it. And I think for those reasons, hey, Holly Day, hey, Nicole, it's obvious to me looking back at the trail of people that I've been crappy to. And I'm not talking about just here since I've started my channel, my whole life. My whole life. Like, oh, that's mom. Hold on. Okay. My mom's checking in on me. How much does it take to be your friend? Asking for a friend. I don't know what that means, Joe. Um, Yeah, that's actually a really good point. Hey, Lisa in Brooklyn. Although you said you don't mind being called Lisane, I think we'll just keep it that because of the ridiculousness of it. Buffy Summers, hey, babe. For you to do otherwise would be foolish to think. It makes total sense. You learn in your formative years you can't trust people. That's a great point. Scientologists are taught not to trust people. Um, Randy Pearson, you don't know it, but I'm your friend, have been since day one. That is such a nice thing to say, Randy. And I appreciate that truly. Thank you. And thank you for your super chat. Yeah, Debbie A, I've always been great with acquaintances. I've always been great with acquaintances. Hey, Elaine. But as far as like having true friendships, I've always pushed that out of my mind. Like, I don't want friends. I've said that forever. I don't want friends. So then I started a YouTube channel and I really kind of started working with people and making friends. And of course, yeah, I look back and I'm like, I really mistreated some people, including my relationships I was even in. Hey, Robin Meyer, welcome, including those guys. I'm saying that too. I talked about that today in therapy. Like, it's not just friendships. I treated men badly too. Even though I value relationships with men a lot. And that's why I have to stay away from that because I find that I'm attracted to masculine attention, masculine energy, big time. And that's not a secret. That's not something I realized today. But friends, I was shocked. Yeah, I was very shocked. Shannon C. Yeah, I was. Thank you, Chrissy Twig. Definitely hope between the dreams. Thank you for saying that. So but the big thing I want to talk about today, Meredith Lynn, the big thing I want to talk about today that I thought was interesting. And I said to this therapist, and he's fairly new, right? Not Justine, no, sadly. He's fairly new, this therapist, but he's good. I like him. And today I said, "Hey, Tallulah, accountability starts when we can acknowledge what we have done." Absolutely. I'm all about that, girl. I'm all over that. Like, I really enjoy reflecting on that. I said this yesterday. The people that I've hurt here on YouTube who are saying I've hurt them, believe them. Believe them. Like, it's true. I did. I'm not going to deny that. I did. I definitely did. Unfortunately, I did that and I feel like I would treat it very differently now, but I can't go back and change it. Thank you, Kat. I appreciate your friend tax, babe. Thank you for that. Thank you, Randy Pearson. Reese, it might be interesting to talk with Michelle. She could probably give a great insight for you to build from. What have I done well? How can I do better? I love Michelle. Yes, I talk with her a lot, Debbie. Um, yeah, Layla Bradley. Well, I said yesterday, Jessica, I'm not going to speak to their story or their side of things because I don't know how much they want me to talk about it. But I hurt them by being an asshole, Jessica, for sure. I hurt them by being an asshole, by being a mean girl. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say about it because it's a kind of a private thing. And they can say things on YouTube all they want, but I would rather address one on one. I think that makes more sense than talking about it openly without their permission, kind of a thing. It doesn't feel right. They know what I did. I was backstabby and shitty. That's all. Oh, yeah, I'm in touch with Ryan. Ryan will always be a friend of mine. So, anyway, the point is, I start talking today about science. You're welcome, Jessica. I start talking about Scientology with this therapist, and I'm like, I've never really talked about like the formative years. I've never really gone into that with therapy. And I said, should I? Like, should we? Rhonda McNeil, I love you too. That's really sweet, babe. I'm like, should we? And he was like, well, I mean, yeah, if you want to. It depends on what you want to talk about and what you find important and all those things. And I just said, hey, tired Madge. I just said, I feel like maybe that's something we should get into. And so I just kind of want to, if I can remember and recall everything in the way it went, I want to share this with you guys because it was really interesting. It was going through my mind. Um, he said, the first thing he said, he goes, well, what do you think of? Like, Buffy, you know that girl, me too. He said, what do you think of? What's something that sticks out for you as a child? Like, let's just start there. And I thought that was actually really smart. Instead of being like, well, let's go over your childhood. He was like, what do you think of? And I said, well, something that sticks out right away when you ask me that is KDD. I don't know. I can't speak to that. I know nothing about it. And again, I'm not going to go forward talking about Tommy or his life. That's I respect him enough to do that. That's where that stands. I'm not going to tear him down. Um that video truly was one video. I'm moving forward, if that makes sense. And I'm not like trying to be harsh with you. It's just, I'm not going to speak to things that we think he's going to do or not do. I respect him enough to not do that. I want to have respect for everybody. I want to stay in my lane. I've been pretty much bedbound since October. I think of you, Reese, and y'all as my safe friends. I love you. Ginny Staude didn't know that. And I'm sorry, babe. I'm sorry to hear that. I hope that you're healing. I don't know the situation and you don't have to tell us, but thank you for sharing that. I love you and thank you for your super chat. So this is interesting. This is interesting. I will answer that. Yes, Tommy is the lifeboat dude. This is interesting. So I said to him, he goes, what's one thing? Like, what's something that you think of? And I said, and hopefully you guys know what I'm talking about. I said, I think of the time when I was like 10 and my dad, for the first time, he dated a ton of different women. And I was alone and he would come home and leave and come home and leave. And I mean, leave for like days at a time. Right. And he had been doing this for years, but he showed me a picture of this woman he was dating. And she lived in Kansas City. We lived in Omaha. And I said in front, his friend Mike, they were both pool buddies, him and Mike, that my dad was a pool hustler big time. He also had a company, but like he was making money playing pool. And Mike was there. And I think I was 10, maybe 11. I don't know. But I can remember this moment forward. I had so much attention on my body. Right. And so my dad shows me this picture of her. And I said, she looks old. That was what I said. And my dad goes, well, at least she's never been as fat as you are. And I remember in that moment, like even saying it, hey, Morel, I shrunk. I was so embarrassed. And I remember like that day forward, I was like, I was so, I'll never forget that because I was so like, I just really, really, really had attention on my body. Kathy Brown, Nice. Yeah, I'm from Omaha. And so that was one thing. Hey, Cheryl Fraser. And he said, okay. And I said, the other thing is that made me think of something. And I said, the other thing, I was like 7. This was before my sister left. Oh, thank you, Mickey Mouse. I love this ring too. Before my sister left, I was sitting on the couch, like on a Saturday morning. And said this to my therapist. I said, thank you, Deborah Riskin. I still sleep in the same clothes I slept in when I was little. I sleep in a t-shirt or a tank top and my underwear. I've always done that pretty much. So I'm sitting on a Saturday morning and hey, CJ Harris, I'm sitting there and I was cross-legged. My legs were crossed in front of me on the couch and my cat was sleeping in my lap and I was watching TV. And my dad walked in and this was so uncomfortable. This is weird that I'm talking about this, but stay with me if you don't mind, because it was very healing today. And I have a point, I promise, but I have to go through my therapy session with you if you don't mind. Hopefully, people don't mind. I'm very open and I hope that's okay with you guys. But my dad walks in and he goes, and I knew something was wrong because my real name is Marisa. Hey, twisted sister. But my dad started calling me Reese when I was real little. Like I'm told I was like 2 or 3 because everybody said Marissa and it's Marisa. So whenever he called me Marisa, it was serious. And he walked in and he goes, Marisa. And I'm like, he was always angry. Like you couldn't challenge him. He was always mad. You couldn't question him. And I was like, yeah, I knew something was wrong. And he just said these words. He went, don't play with yourself on the couch. And I told my therapist today that like has ever since then has given me the weird, like I was little, I was like 7. So I didn't entirely know what that meant. But again, I felt that like that shaming, like, hey, Nancy, by my love, just that weird vibe of like, I don't know what that means, but it made me introvert, right? Like it made me feel small. It made me feel nervous. And so we talked about those 2 things. And then I talked about how he just snipped the cord when I was 16 and was like, bye, I don't want to be your dad again. I don't want to do anything with you again. And just how easy that was. Within a matter of minutes, I never saw my dad again until I was for a little short period of time in my 20s. But otherwise, that was it. And so that's why it makes sense to me more than ever that I didn't value friendships, relationships. Like Scientologists don't put value on that. So it makes total sense to me that I would be an asshole to somebody. Like, I don't give a shit about your feelings. Like, that's how we think. Doesn't make it okay. But coming out of Scientology and making all these new friends, it doesn't surprise me, especially think about that for a minute. I just realized that myself. I left Scientology without wanting to leave. It was an accident. Hey, Denise, and making all these new friends and then expecting them to behave like I treat them like I treat my Scientology friends. I've only been around Scientologists. So now I've got all these new friends that are not Scientologists. And of course I'm like, fuck yourself. I don't know. Like, I don't know what I said, but like, of course I was shitty. I was in Scientology mode. I'm still trying not to do that. This is not, by the way, me being like, see, I can slip out of accountability. It's just the facts. This is what makes sense to me. Mary Behrens. So he says, yeah, Lumen, maybe. He says, he goes, so this therapist says to me, Beck Smith, what did you mean you didn't want to leave? I didn't want to leave Scientology. I had no intentions of ever leaving. I was accidentally outed, which is great. It saved my life. But my point is, I didn't intend to go anywhere. Hey, Stephanie Lynn. So, hey, Heather. This therapist says to me, and I go, wait till I tell my chat that. They're going to laugh. This therapist says to me, we're looking at each other on the computer camera, and he goes, damn, girl. He goes, so you had no boundaries. I was like, nice to meet you. He goes, you grew up with like no boundaries at all. He was like, you didn't even have anybody to raise you. Good night, Barpo. And I was like, yeah, no. And then I realized I'm like, I don't talk about this in therapy. So like, you guys know that, but I don't talk about it in therapy. And I said to him, I go, I think I think I don't talk about this in therapy because I talk about it on my channel, but I do avoid it in therapy. I thought you were making steps to leave. I was going to stay under the radar forever. No, I was taking steps to talk to people outside of Scientology. I was giving Aaron information, but no, no. I was happy to have a friend on the outside, but no, 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 no. I didn't want to leave. I mean, in a perfect world, yes, I would have wanted to leave, but I knew what that meant. I was going to lose everybody. I didn't want to lose everybody. So yeah, this dude's like, so you don't, he went, damn girl. He said, so you don't have any boundaries. And I was like, no, you old silly goose. No, I don't have boundaries. Good Lord. Can you make a shoe smell? Of course I don't have boundaries. Claire with an I. Me too, girl. Pick me a fruit that won't rot. Come on. Interesting question. What is this? Do you think you would be away from the cellist if you hadn't been outed? Do I think I would be away from the cellist? No. I don't know why that took me so long to understand that question. No. I would have stayed with him. If I hadn't left Scientology, like if none of this happened, I probably would have ended up staying with Jeff. I don't know though. That's a deep ass question because I hated everything so much. But at the same time, like this is what we're trained to do. We're trained to put up with a lot. So I don't know that I would have. Have my boobs met? It's great, Kim. Thank you, Heather Marie. I'm proud of you, Reese, for addressing the pink elephant in the room and making changes. Again, remember it takes time. You're right, girl. And even if I just am walking this path by myself, I am walking it by myself, and that's okay too. Hey, Joanne Hawley. I know. He said so straight to you about boundaries. That's a great therapist. You don't need someone to walk on eggshells. No, it was so funny. He went, damn, girl. He was like, so you don't have any boundaries. I was like, come on, son. Damn, son. I was like, are you just really? Huh. Hey, Olga. Reese, what do you need? Road trip? Heard Vancouver is nice. I'd love to take a road trip. Thank you, Jen Pookie. It does feel good to laugh. My boobs have never met either, Reese. Yeah. Yeah. My tits have never met. My thighs are good pals. Good pals. So interestingly enough, thank you, Jessica M. How old is your son, and is he affected by Scientology? We kept him pretty far away from it. He was affected by it very mildly. Hey, Brigida, cool name. He is 15 years old and going on 50. He's like a grown man. He's very wise. So the other thing, so he says to me, that's a nice thing to say, Robin. Thank you. Kim Watts. Brittany, catching up. Just wanted to say I love you, and I think you are so strong, and you look gorgeous with or without makeup. You're crushing it. Brittany, I love you, girl. I'm happy you're here, and thank you for your super chat, babe. Hey, Penny Rogers. Hey, Georgia Burke. I love seeing you guys. Sarah Graham. You're a crazy lying woman, and the truth will out. Okay. Well, I'll be the first to say it. I'm crazy and I've definitely lied before, and I am a woman, Keith. So, um, yeah, that's totally okay with me. You know, if the truth does come out, it's definitely going to be like Reese is a fucking mean girl. But when the truth does come out, it's not going to be anything me threatening to kill people. It's not going to be me threatening and stealing money, and it's all going to be legal stuff. Let's put it that way. So that's the best thing, Keith. That's the only thing I can count on, man, is you're right. The truth is I am a piece of shit. And I said that yesterday, Keith, but all we can do, Keith, is work on it, brother. You and me together. So anyway, it's interesting. This therapist says to me, what did he say? See, this is what sucks because there was so much to this. And I was like, that's fascinating. Hey, Tampa A. he said something like, "If you could do things differently, what would you have done differently?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" I was little. Like, what would I have done? Packed my bags and moved out? Like, this isn't Matilda. Like, I didn't have magic mind powers. I don't know what you mean. And hey Snooshy. So Buffy was born into crazy, and she's also a woman. Yeah, I don't know. Keith tried with that one. I'm definitely nuts in a lot of ways, especially around my period. Especially when I'm ovulating, Keith, 2 times. It's a bummer. But lying, absolutely. I've definitely lied before too. So I don't know. Hey, Ghost Writer. I don't know what to tell you about that. I'm sure Keith has too. He's just not really willing to admit that. Happy I caught alive. Hoping you are feeling better. Good to see a smile. Thank you, Saza. Cool name. Um, what would I have done different? I'm not looking for love. I'm never going to look for it ever. But I do hope that it finds my forwarding address. I have to be honest. I hope at some point it does find me because I enjoy that part of life, but not right now. So I'm like, I wasn't Matilda. Like, this isn't a Mrs. Trunchbull situation. I didn't have some sweet teacher named Mrs. Honey to like comfort me and have me over to her house to talk about her father and his chocolates. If anyone's seen that movie. Hey, Andrew, welcome, brother. Um, hey, Donna. Yes, Donna. Thank you, Donna Hannah. So, hey, Marie Marion. He says, let me ask you something. Shannon Trim, you have a good point. There's probably a lot of us crazies in here. Yeah, probably so. Let's face it, we are all kind of crazy and we've all lied and we've all been jerks. But I'll just speak about me. I'll take the brunt of it, guys. I'll take the blame. DP in Tennessee, welcome. Really? Wait, what? What was this? Hold on. We gotta hit pause. We'll be back to take a commercial break. There's an old rich single guy at our club looking for a nice lady, and I mean old. Denise, um, don't screenshot this picture. Like, don't show him this, but go to my Facebook, get a really like use my profile picture, like use one of my good ones. And just, just when it's, you know, just when it's natural, just slide that in. Just be like, hey, here's my friend. I don't know. She was asking about you, you know, her name's Reese, and she likes she's a Cancer sign. She likes spaghetti. I like grape electrolytes. Clearly, I'm not ready to be out in the dating field because I don't know what the F I'm talking about. Like, that's how it's going to happen. That's how I'm going to be like, do you like sourdough bread? Me too. Like, it's going to be so, I'm going to be like, do you shop at Costco? Do you have a membership? Wow. We have things in common. We should really explore that over some spaghetti. No, not now. Hey, dingoes ate my name. But whatever you do, don't don't think I wouldn't, girl. I mean, just don't show this pic. Like, don't screenshot today, but just find out what his sign is. Like, does he have his teeth? I would like to know that. Um, does he have any hair? That would be interesting. Just let her know. There's a girl in Tennessee that does he have a Werther's in his pocket? Does he carry hard candies? I like those strawberry things too. Those aren't bad. I like going to brunch if he does. Um, what are we talking about here? I'm into it. I'm just kidding. Denise, don't do it. Don't do it. Just kidding. No, seriously, don't. I talked about this in therapy today. Okay, so that's what we need to get to. Does he carry a handkerchief? Handkerchief? Holy hell. If he does that, he's in his 90s, 100%. Root beer barrels. I like that. Does he like taking naps? I like that. Yeah. The strawberry cream hard candies, those are good. Those are good. I should get some of those. Yeah, Denise. Names are important. Like, does he have a cool old man name? If I date somebody, I kind of want someone, I want it to have like a cool name. It is sarcasm, Laura May. Don't worry. I'm off limits. I am not safe to be around men. Like, I'm gonna wear like something when I go out that says females only. Like, don't approach me. I can't help but flirt. It's not good. I'm out of control. But like the next guy, let's just pretend when he does come along, he has to have a cool name. Um, I know people can't tell. This has been a thing my whole life. My entire life, people have said this. I can't tell if you're kidding or not. And sometimes people get kind of pissed at me about that. And I think that's why, what? Mr. Hamilton? Done. That's the cutest fucking thing I've ever heard in my life. If you're being serious, send him my picture. Do it now. Get out, get out. Go to your club right now. Does he have a collection of 8-track tapes? Jay Kelly. No, not kidding though. Like when he does come along, I want him to have a cool name. And here's what I'm thinking. Just stay with me. Toby. Toby is a cool name. It's distinguished. It's a lot. There's a lot to a Toby. You don't meet a Toby. Ooh, does he have a stamp collection? Sexy. I like that. I like that. Yeah, a lot of people don't get my humor and it pisses people off. Do you know how many people are going to get upset now that like, oh my God, she's already trying to date? I promise you I'm not. This is for entertainment purposes. I promise. No, but Toby, ooh, does he like suspenders? Why are we talking about men? I'm going to get in trouble. God dang it, you guys. Back to therapy. Toby was one of your dog's names. Nigel. That's a little too, Nigel is too educated for me. I guarantee you, Nigel's not going to have anything in common with me. He's not going to find me funny. I would take another Fred in a heartbeat. Freds are amazing. You know who else are cool? Speaking of guy names, hey, Michelle P. You know who are always calm? Ben. Ben is always calm. Bens never have psycho breakdown moments. They just don't. Sam and Ben's really, Gregory, nah, no. His outfits are too weird for me. I love you too, Messy Jesse. Sam and Ben never flip out. Do you guys notice that? Sam's and Ben's, they never have breakdowns. They go have breakdowns like animals, how they go off to die under a tree and like they don't want anyone around. Sam's and Ben's do the same thing. If they have breakdowns, we'll never see it because they do it on their own. They don't flip out around you. Steady. They're stable. Sam's and Ben's, they're always stable. It's weird. You know, Crazy Sam? I'm going to need proof. Roger. Again, I feel like I'm not going to make Roger laugh. Ernest? No, definitely not. Teds. Teds aren't bad. Teds are pretty chill. I'm sure there's a lot of Teds out here in the country. Hey, Sherry LeBrun. Cyrus. That sounds a little young, honestly. George. We could do, yeah. George isn't bad. George isn't bad, honestly. That's not bad. Ted Bundy. Yeah, I would have fallen for that. Milt. Fred's middle name was Milton. That would be cute. Milt's cute. Wait, though, Reese and Milt? I don't know about that. Depends what his last name is. Robert, not Bob or Bobby. Yeah, it has to be Wilbur. I like that. Harry or Frank. Those are good. Those are good. Names are important, guys. Austin. No, Austin's 27 years old and I'm not going to give him the time of day. Henry's good. Harrison's better. Holy shit. If his name is Harrison, done. Absolutely. Harrison's good. Winston's pretty good too. Winston isn't bad. That's a good one. Hey, Danette McClure. Earl isn't going to work for me. No, I don't think Earl. Walter. Shit, yes. Yeah. Walter. I don't like Wayne so much. William, as long as he doesn't go by Bill. Okay, Debbie Zito, you're right. Back to it. Okay. James, that's a good. James is good. James is probably pretty stable. Phil, no, I don't think so. No, I don't trust a Phil. Harvey is cute. I like that. Orville, holy shit. Orville's 107. And that honestly might be bad for my image right now. Right now I'm a liar and a thief and all these things. I think if I'm dating an Orville in the future, they're going to be like, yeah, that dude's 107 and this only goes with the narrative. You know what I mean? You have to be careful there. You have to be careful. Hugh, that's fancy. What happened at therapy? Let's get back to it. Okay. So I don't even really remember other than Frank is great. Yeah, I like that too. Other than he asked me, how much room does your dad take up in your head now? And I said, sometimes a lot. Hey, Ty's channel. Hey, Annette Rose. I said, sometimes a lot. It's okay, Denise. It was worth it. Sometimes Gamer Jackie. I said, he does live in Tennessee and I would like to go see him. And he said, what if you in a perfect world, hey, Abigail, if he would be willing to talk to you in a room, because I said, he'll never speak to me. And he goes, right. But let's say he could. Hey, evil blue eye. He said, what would you say? And I said, I would, thank you, Debbie. I would say, like, I said, I'd probably him as withholding. Hey, banana, I'd burst into tears, I'm sure. And I said, my dad is still in Scientology. Yeah, he's been a Scientologist since like 1969, a long time. And I said, I'm sure that I would say, Elena Rainerman, welcome. I'm sure I would say something like, why did you even want kids? See, the other thing that I brought up, Karen Stein, welcome. I said, there was just never a time, and I told him this, I said, there was never a time that you seem to even want me. Like there was never a time. I can't think of a time. And this isn't for like, poor me. I can't remember a time my dad hugged me. I can't remember a time being like, and like him hugging me. There was a time I remember jumping into his lap. Phil, I guess I do trust you. You're an exception. I remember jumping into his lap and being like, right in my baby book, right? But like that was me with that gesture. Like I can't, hey, Heather Rhodes, I can't remember him welcoming me into his arms or telling me I love you, anything. And I said, even like the embarrassment of ninth grade, I made it to ninth grade. Hey, Copper Top. And I had to ride 2 city buses to go to school because my dad wouldn't take me. All the other kids' parents took them to school or they got a ride with other kids because they had friends and I didn't. So my dad used to leave town and he would leave tons of $1 bills on the table for me to take the bus with all the other people going to work in the morning. And it was so embarrassing. And I don't know why I remembered that. Like that memory came up for me today. But I remember cringing every morning of that whole ninth grade that I had to take the city bus through downtown Omaha. I had to take 2 buses to get there. And then I had to walk. And it was just awkward. It was so weird. I remember like every morning, like just being like standing outside waiting. And it was just weird. And I got into the, like, how did that make me feel thing, which was clearly, it really occurred to me today. This sounds nuts, but like clearly this guy really didn't want me. Like really didn't want me. Like I was a burden. Hey Marie J. I was a nuisance to him. And so fast forwarding to what would I say to him? It was like, yeah, Gamer Jackie, I like that. That explains a lot, Reese. Need for closeness, needing to be told you're loved and safe. I have abandonment issues too, not as much, but now some stuff still hits. Yeah, it's good to unpack this stuff, Gamer Jackie, because it's not stuff that I often think about. And the therapist helped me a lot today by asking me questions. So, hey, Kay Thompson and Diana H, that's sweet. But what would I say today was something along the lines of I said, like, "Did you even really want me? Like, you didn't act like you even really wanted me. When you handed me my baby book, 'Hey, Marianne,' like, 'Hey, old Charlie,' just all those things, like me taking that city bus, you leaving all the time, like me just I remember he would leave and be like, 'There's food in the fridge. Here's some money.' And I would walk to school and hey, Matrix Tech Solutions, Laura May. Yeah. I would walk to school before ninth grade, like eighth, seventh, sixth, fifth, um, like grade school and junior high. And I just remember feeling so lonely. I'd walk to school, I'd come home from school, and he wouldn't be there. He'd be gone for a couple of days. And it was lonely. It was very lonely. And I never thought it through this way. Like, I've never put so much attention on what was my daily life like. Well, I'd come home and I would heat up like soup. Usually I always ate chicken and stars, Campbell's soup. I remember doing that a lot, which is weird because that's my go-to now. I don't eat chicken, but a can of soup is almost what I eat every day. When I was single in my own apartment, when I was 19, up to when I owned my own house, up to now, I always eat soup. And I remember doing that when I was little. We'd go to the store when he was in town and he would get me I'd be like, "I want that." And I would pick out Campbell's chicken and stars soup and I would microwave it. And that's what I would eat. And so like I was just kind of going through the things I remember. I don't remember everything, right? But like I remember doing all of that, getting up and like walking to school in sixth grade, fifth grade, fourth grade. And it's not that he was gone all the time. He'd come home, but he'd be gone a lot of the time. And so it was just so weird thinking back some of those emotions. And so if I had a chance to talk to him today, I'd probably say something like, "Hey, Corvette 7, I'm happy to see you. You've mailed me cards. Hey, Woofy, is it possible he would have handed you over your baby book and told you to kick rocks at 16, even if you hadn't done anything wrong at the org?" I don't know if that's possible. No, because if I hadn't done anything wrong and he would have kept me in his life, he probably would have kept the book. And so I just said, I would say to him today, why did you keep us? Thank you, Matrix Tech Solutions. That's so nice. Hey, Erica, like, why didn't you keep us? Hey, Muffet Lou, why did you keep us? Like, why did you threaten my mom and say, like, I'm keeping these kids? So DLC, great question. My mom left when I was 6. And she said, "I'm gonna take the kids." I remember this. And he said, "I'll kill you if you take these kids." So then we went into the Sea Org when I was 7, came back, and then my sister is 4 years older, and she left right about after that. Sometime after that, she moved to Kansas City with my mom. So then it was just me and my dad, and he didn't give a holy crap. So then I realized that today. So this, hey, Barbara, wait. So I'm thinking, this is what I would say. And the therapist said, don't ask questions. Don't make it a question. What would you say? Turn it around and don't make it a question. So I was like, what do you mean? Like, why? So why didn't you want me? And he was like, nope, don't ask. Don't make it a question. So I was thinking about it and I was like, well, what would I say to my dad if I couldn't ask him a question? So I was like, you didn't want me. And he said, yeah. And I said, you didn't want me. Like, it's obvious. I was such a nuisance to you. And I don't understand that. Like, I have you ever felt regret about that? And he was like, no questions. Don't make it a question. And I said, you didn't love me. It was clear. You didn't want me in your life. You called me that I was fat when I was like 10. And I've like a lot of the things that you did have shaped now this like mess of what I am. And it's not, hey, Marlugo, I hate saying even what I just said because I don't like putting blame back on somebody. But the fact is, and I said this today, when I was 7, what could I have done differently, right? That is so nice, Cindy. I'm happy. I've never seen your name. I was gonna say you've never comment. Thank you, Cindy. That is such a kind thing to say. Kala, I love that. And thank you for your super chat, Cindy. I'm glad that you spoke out. But it was interesting to try not to turn things into a question. And so it really changed the game for me because all I have are questions. Hey, Ree, like all I have are questions. Like if I ever did see my dad, I always think like, what would I ask him? What would I ask him? Well, now looking at it today, don't give it a question. And so like I just kept trying to think like, what would I say? I would say, like, I would never treat Huxley that way. Why? See, it's hard. It's hard because when you want to ask, but he kept going, hey, Audrey, he kept going, nope, don't ask questions. What would you say to him without making it a question? And I think I'm like, hey, there's something about Mary. Like, what's behind that? Why did he word it that way? I think because it takes out like me being uncertain, right? Maybe. Do you guys agree? Why did he say that? Why did he say don't make it a question? I think because a question makes it you don't know. You want answers. And I think he's trying to get me, hey, Wharton Pistol, to close the door. Yeah. Yes. Debbie, you'll never get the answer you want. Right. There's not ever going to be closure. I'm never going to have this conversation. It's never going to happen. So I think what he's trying to get me to do is see it, like answer it for yourself. You're never going to get an answer from him. Never going to talk to him again. I'd love to. Hey, Kevin Conklin. Yeah, a question is open-ended. Yes, that was pretty smart. That was pretty smart of him. I was really trying to come up with things that I would say because I think the more I came up with things, the more I felt in control. And the more I realized, speaking of control, I was like, I said this and I said, you didn't want these kids. You just wanted control. That's kind of evil. That's kind of evil. You hated those kids. You didn't want those kids. You just didn't want her having those kids. It was just, hey, Goosebump, it was just a game for you. Like it was just, I'm going to win no matter what. You're not going to take these kids. I'm keeping these kids, not because I'm going to take care of them, because you will not win this. I will not give up control. Pride. Vindictive. Yes. And so, and that's part of Scientology. Yeah, being a dictator. I mean, that's part of Scientology is like, I will have the ultimate control. But it was an interesting lens to look through today. And what I would, it's a power play for sure. Where is my mom? She's here now. I live near her. But I would say to him, this was all about control. Like there was no love in this. It was power. It was control. It was hatred. You hated us more. I think the hate came on even harder when my mom left. Like now I have to look at these kids and deal with these kids. And she did all of that. And now I have to do it. So what did he do? He left. He left me there all alone because he didn't want to have to face the music of having to make dinner. He went and fucked around, screwed a bunch of women, hustled pool. He was doing all kinds of stuff. He wanted to still have his freedom. Linda Buckley. Yeah, my mom, let me read this and I'll answer that. Kay, I'm making soup now. Chicken noodle. It's obvious how you figure things out through conversation. Always here for you. I love you, Kay. I love soup. I eat it all the time. I had tomato bisque just the other day. Kay, thank you for your super chat. My mom left when I was 6. My dad was, I would say, very abusive to her. Hey, Ty Mark. I don't think physically. I think just emotionally, very abusive. And hey, Jill Judd. And so I think looking at it back, I think even it got worse. Gracie. Thank you, Gracie. Yes. And thank you for being a member. Hey, Kim Holman. So I think, um, Jessica, he's doing really good, actually. I think it was kind of shocking to me to see that, like, I would say to him, this was just about control. No wonder you've never wondered about me. No wonder, like, hey, Robert Roy, no wonder you've never. I always wondered, even to now, I'm like, how come he's never changed his mind? How come he's never called me up and said, you know, decades have gone by. I kind of, before I die, want to get to know you. I'd like to get to know your son. What does he look like? Are you willing to talk to me? Like, I always kind of hoped for that. And I think I still hope for that. And it's never going to happen. And I have to come to terms with that. But, like, what would I say? Shannon, Reese, I have had similar things with my dad. And when I finally started to heal is when I realized he had his own baggage and loved me with the best he could from what he went through. It doesn't make it okay, I know. Interesting. No, I mean, he met you where he was at, right? We talk about that a lot, Shannon. My dad didn't do the best he could. Thank you for your super chat, Shannon. Hey, Mar, your dad sounds like he was amazing, Mar, and I love you. Thank you for telling me that. He sounded so cute. Teacher nurse says, don't you wish you could save that 8-year-old girl? You were kind and you would have been there for her. Yes. And he said, what would you have done differently? Nothing. What would I have done differently? Like, this was all about shame too. Like the fat thing, the thing with me sitting there with the cat, it just, like, I remember just, and that was something really fascinating. Oh my God, I'm glad I just remembered that. Hold on. Don't let me forget it, you guys. Amy Edge, the way your father treated you is a reflection on him, not you. Yes. The fact that Hux is so great is a reflection on you. Hold your head high. I love that, Amy. Thank you for saying that, babe. I'm trying to accept that. Thank you for being a member. Okay, this was interesting. Oh my God, I'm glad I remembered it. He said, oh my God, this is weird. I mean, I don't have an answer to it, but it's weird. He said, when he did those two things to you, when he did the fat thing and the cat thing, okay, he goes, what did you do about it? Like, did you bark at him? Did you, like, just accept it? How did you react? Hey, I need a card. And I said, I just did that. I was like, I introverted big time. I was scared of him. He yelled all the time. You could not challenge him in any way. My dad was aggressive, very, 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 um, very, well, very in control, but like used fear and aggression to control us, right? So I thought to that. He goes, how did you react then? And I said, oh my God, I was silent. I was scared. And he goes, how would you react to that now? And I said, well, now I'm the opposite. And he goes, what do you mean? And I said, well, now I'm like, I can't stop flapping my gums. That's what I do for a living. All I do is talk. And he was like, interesting. Interesting that you went from, like, okay, to hey, and like becoming a chatty out, talking out. Now, again, there's nothing else to that. But I thought it was interesting. But at the same time, when it comes to men who are that way with me now, I do the same thing. I'm like, okay, 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 okay. I just think that's interesting. It's an interesting pattern. I'm kind of embarrassed that there's not more to that. Okay. We're just going to pretend it didn't happen and we're going to just fill the gap with words like I'm doing now. Just words. But I just think it's interesting. I find that interesting that, like, I was a very quiet kid. I mean, I was funny because I watched George Carlin all day. I loved to laugh, but I didn't have any friends. I had no friends as a child. It was very awkward in school. I would go to school and come home, and often my dad wasn't there either time. So I didn't, like, say goodbye in the morning. No one made me breakfast, none of that shit. And then I would come home and watch George Carlin and eat a can of soup. Like, that was my childhood. How awkward. That explains a lot, actually. I just realized. And that's why I'm weird. Asking him why gives a chance to make excuses. Having to hear how he made you feel would force him to be accountable. Yes, Danny. And I think that's, by the way, thank you for being a member, babe. Wow. Um, I think that's right. I think that's right. Bye, Cat. Sounds like Jana says, when you grow up with loud yelling and angry men, that is why you tend to choose guys like that because they're oddly comfort. You're oddly comfortable with it. We tend to pick the same guys. Yes. Hey, Ashley Dreammaker Reptiles. We tend to pick the same guys. I don't know if that's true. And I said that to him. I said, am I like dating my dad? And he was like, I don't know. I do like this therapist because I was like, I was talking about my relationship with my exes, my ex-husband. And I said, would that be like, is that this? I was like, I don't know what like sociopath, psychopath, all those things. And he goes, who cares? He goes, it doesn't really matter what the flavor is. It's not good. And I was like, fair enough. I kind of like that because I don't need the term, honestly. I think people loosely throw that around. Like a lot of people know, like, that's a narcissist. I can't speak to that. I don't know enough about narcissism to know exactly like the bullet points of what a narcissist is, but I liked that. He was like, who really cares what the flavor is? It's not a good flavor. It's not good, right? Reese, you're starting to connect the dots from your early childhood to see how it affects your current behaviors. Bingo. This process takes a long time and you will keep untangling these threads. Yes. And I love it. What'd you say? Yeah, gamer Jackie. I mean, we know this. I think my dad was the original asshole. I said that yesterday. I think he was the original asshole. But it's right. It's like it doesn't matter. It's not a good flavor. Stay away from it. Yeah, I think we do. Tommy Bird, good to see you. I'm kind of loud, angry man at times. It's an issue, but I know better. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Tommy Bird, I love what you just said. It's like my past. Hey, Tallulah, I've been shitty to people. I've been a mean girl, but now I know better. Hey, Britt P. Now I know better. I'm trying at least. I can still be a mean girl for sure, especially with people that I'm close to behind the scenes. I don't do it here on YouTube, but I can definitely be shitty to people still, even though I know better. I would say I'm way, way less that way, but I am. If I had to give my downfall, that would be it. My downfall is I'm very, very desensitized as an ex-Scientologist and just very like, so what? The fuck do I care? Like, that's always my go-to as a person. Like, fucking deal with it. That's your problem. Like, very hands off. Never been much of like because I didn't have friends. How do you expect me to treat people coming out of the gates of Scientology hell to new people who've never had experience with Scientology and be nice to them? Be cool with them. Did you ever have a boyfriend in your teens? Yeah, he was 24 when I was on staff at the Church of Scientology. That was my first guy, was Shane. Um, I don't know much about my father's parents. I never met either one of my grandpas. They both died before I was born. His mother, he absolutely hated. Hey, Cindy. His mother, he absolutely hated. He didn't let us around her much. But I really, really realize that now more than ever. Like yesterday, it started to kind of chip away at me. Like, maybe that's like, I really need to take a look at these people who are saying they're hurt just because it bothers me. Like, even up to a few days ago, I was like, what did I do? I know what I did. I mean, for the most part, I know without being able to talk to them and like talk it through. And I can't because I'm blocked and it's okay. I'm able to speak about it here. I'm not going to get into their names. It's not fair to them. I'm not going to do all that. But of course, it makes sense to me now more than ever. Hey, Sharon. And this is not a cop out. No, Goosebump. This is not a cop out. It's just the truth. I think my dad hated women. Yeah, probably. I mean, it seems that way to me. I only knew him up to the age of 16, but looking back, yeah, probably. It's not a cop out, but like I look at it now as just the bigger picture. I came out of Scientology where we don't value friendships, people, not much of anything. Everything is transactional too. Everything. You do this, I'll do that. It's called exchange. It's called putting in your exchange. If you do this for me, I'll do that for you. So it makes, hey, run the world. It makes total sense to me that I would start out, get all these friends, and shit all over them. I'm not even like ashamed or embarrassed to say that now. I'm not, hey, Beans Mama, I'm not even worried about it anymore. I hate that I treated them that way, but I can't change it. I can't take it back. All I can do is recognize the shit out of that, like you shit all over people. People didn't matter to you. What does Scientology value? That's a great question, Cutesy J. Was Shane soft with you, like a nice guy? Shane was nice to me. He had anger issues sometimes, but very little. Shane really liked me. He was really into me. I'm sure. Gross, right? I was 14. He was 24. Scientology values money. Big time. Yes, money. But also, just as a regular person on staff, we're not like seeing dollar signs. Scientology teaches us we have to save and clear planet Earth if we're ever going to have a chance of making it. So it's just Scientology values the most. We want your time. You need to be here. You don't need to be at that wedding. You don't need to go to that funeral. You don't need to go to your child's graduation. You need to be here because your child won't have a graduation if we don't save planet Earth. This comes first. That's what, a lot of ex-Scientologists will give you a different answer to that. That's my answer to it. There's a lot of right answers to that. Mine is not the only one. But they don't put any value. How does that save Earth? Because L. Ron Hubbard's technology, Heather, is we're so indoctrinated with the tech. This is the tech. You follow the tech exactly, and we will save planet Earth. So nothing matters. Your kids don't matter. Think about the sky's the limit here. Your children don't matter to you. Hey, Geoplanet Jane, why would I give a fuck about a friendship coming out of Scientology? Why would I be nice to you? Why would I care about your feelings? I'm sorry. I'm just being totally honest. I didn't. That applies. And I'm not just talking about people in the YouTube community. That applies to my ex-husband. That applies to Tommy. That applies to Fred. Although Fred and I didn't fight or anything, but like that applies to Huxley. Like I've definitely been an asshole. I have a lot to own up for. But I get now why. If that makes sense, it makes me feel so much calmer and better. It completes the story for me. Like I'm not sitting here going, what did I do? I didn't do anything. What did I do to these people? Then I get it now more than ever. Hey, Sarah K. Yeah, and definitely I agree with this now more than ever. None of those people are haters. None of them are haters. But I've always said that. Maybe I called them trolls once, but hey, Galen, I don't feel that way at all. They're people with feelings. Even the dude that makes hate videos about me, I feel differently about him. And by all means, continue to make hate videos about me. I'm not trying to make it easier, but I feel differently about that dude. Like, it's okay. I said some mean things to that guy. I said some horrible things to that guy. I don't know that guy. I don't need to be saying really super mean fucking things about his looks, his background. I know nothing about that person. I was simply being a bitch. I was being a mean girl. That's my go-to. Attack, be mean, tear them down, make them feel bad about themselves. That's what I did to that. Even that guy. That's probably the biggest hater. I'm not saying we're going to be pals. I'm just saying, by all means. I know he dude likes to make videos about me, and he will continue to do so. But I'm not going to keep attacking that. It's not cool, especially now that I realize that is what's ingrained in me. Attack. And why? Because there is no value on people. In Scientology, there's no value placed on people. None. So of course I was shitty to people that that's what I was gonna say. Your kids don't matter. Is that what Scientology teaches? Attack people and make them feel bad? Yes, if they have attacked you in any way, or if you feel attacked in any way. Yes, definitely. That's part of what it teaches. It's not all of what it teaches. I talked to my dad again when I was pregnant. I had Huxley when I was 25. So I talked to him. I told you guys this. I'm going to make this short because it doesn't need to be long. But I talked, you guys know who Dan O'Connor is, the guy who hit me with the fax machine. He played the role of the chaplain. The chaplain is the, hey, West Coast Fancy Nancy, the chaplain in Scientology is the guy who isn't the ethics officer, but he's the one who brings peace, like when you can't do anything else. They're like trying to bring a, if there's an upset, they're trying to help, like they're a mediator, basically. So I'm hugely pregnant. I remember sitting on the phone. I haven't talked to my dad in forever, right? Not since I think I talked to him again when I was like 19 or 20. But I had this conversation because I kept complaining and I kept complaining that I was going to have a baby and like my dad had nothing to do with my life and I hated him and all that. So he was willing to have a chaplain call with me. It's called a chaplain cycle. Okay. He was in Omaha. Dan was at the Kansas City org. I was at my house pregnant. And I hadn't talked to my dad in years, and he's on the phone with me. And I'm like, Dan goes, tell him what you want to tell him. Tell him what you want to say. And I'm crying. And I was like, I just want you to be proud of me. Hey, Piper. I said, Seamus, no one wants to listen to your nonsense. Take it elsewhere, please. And I said, I just want you to be proud of me. I'm about to have a kid. Like, you don't even know what I do for a living. Like, you don't know anything about me. You just want to know about Scientology. That's what I say, right? And he's like, tell him everything you want to tell him. And I said, I'm sitting here. I said, I'm about to give birth. And I was like, it's my first baby and you're my dad. And I just want you to be excited. I want you to want to meet your grandchild. Hey, Linda. And he says, I'm sorry, but I'm interested in saving planet Earth. I don't give a shit that you're having a baby. You know why? You've had billions of babies. This is not your first baby. This is your first baby in this body. You've been a mother, he said, 1 billion times, because L. Ron Hubbard says that we are 76 trillion years old. Hey, Avina Sativa. And I was just bawling through that. And he was like, forgive me if I don't care that you're about to have a baby. This isn't your first baby. He's like, you've got to look at the bigger picture. We have to clear planet Earth or you're not going to have a baby. Like your kid won't grow up like he was going into his future and all of that. He's like, do you want your kid to grow up and have a sane environment? Then get off this fucking I'm having a baby shit and get in session, get to the org, get on course. That's what he said. And that was it. He was like, I don't give a fuck. I mean, he said that. My dad is crass. He was like, I don't give a shit. This isn't your first kid. This won't be my first grandkid. Like that was his viewpoint. So hey, Angie, we don't give a shit about our own kids, clearly. He did not give me the time of day. I didn't get a congratulations. I didn't get any of that. And all I wanted was like that validation. And I said that. I was like, I just want you to ask me what I do for a living. I want you to ask me something about me that's not Scientology related. And he was like, I'm never going to do that. Laura Jane, thank you for becoming a member, babe. So I'm trying to get you guys, hey, Jean, I'm trying to get you guys to see, which you probably already do, that of course, I left Scientology abruptly, made all these new friends, and was like, fuck off. I don't care. Because I didn't care. I hurt them. And not just the people from YouTube. I hurt all kinds of people in my real life at the time. Like, I didn't care. It's an afterthought. I care now more than I ever have. And I hope a year from now I care even more. And I hope years from now I care even more. And I hope that I develop really healthy relationships with people that is give and take and balanced. And I hope that I find a man at some point years from now that's healthy with boundaries and balance. I hope I get all of those things because I'm realizing all the people I've hurt and all the things I didn't care about is I'm stepping away from that. I am not going to call people trolls anymore. It's degrading. Kid. It's not cool. I don't want to do it. I don't want to. Now that I realize this more than ever, I'm like, I don't want to. Yeah, not interested. When someone in Scientology dies, what is the belief behind that? Do they believe the spiritual being picks up another body? Yes, it's exactly that, actually, Britt. And that's how you call it. They pick up another body. Yes. It's just reincarnation. It's Scientologists will say it's like getting out of one car and getting into another. When people die, they're like, bye. The nearest hospital is about 3 miles west. No joke. That's what we say. When someone dies, we're like, all right, go pick up a body. Go on, pick up a body. I'll see you when you get back. And then when someone has a baby in Scientology, they're like, hey, did you see that Ralph was born? Ralph dropped his body about a month ago, but he's back. Sarah and Jake just gave birth to Ralph. He's back already, back on track. That's how they talk, guys. We got nothing on death. Nobody cares about death in Scientology. It's nothing, means nothing. Thank you, Victoria. Sorry, love and life. Yeah, Brit P. Yeah, oh, absolutely. And the OT8s in Scientology will tell you the location of the dead person. So if a person dies, Ralph died, right? Whoever that is, I'm making up a name. The OT8 will go, oh yeah, he's fine. He's good. I talked to him this morning. He's looking for a new body. He's good. I know his location. Everything's fine. I'm talking him through it, getting a new body. I'm seeing if anybody in Florida and the OT8s are having any babies. We're trying to find a body for Ralph. No joke. That's how they talk. It is just old hat. Are there any orgs right next to hospitals? No. I mean, yeah, Rue, there are in some cities. If you keep doing the work you are doing right now and don't give up and fall back into old comfy patterns versus developing new ones, you will get what you want from life. I agree with that 100%, Teresa. And that's why I titled this Putting in the Work, girl. I intend to. Got to get that new body. It's nothing. Lumen says you were reacting to a ton of unnecessary BS. That's extremely provoking and you did your best. No way. I would not even know how to respond to that, Reese. God love you. Yeah. I've talked to my therapist a little bit about that. Hey, Pepper Jelly. Did this scare the children to talk like that? Absolutely not, because in Scientology, children are just big beings in little bodies. So we are treated as if we are adults at all times. So no, there's no children really in Scientology. To be honest, there's just not. Hey, Superstorm Day, but this was all very interesting to me. This was all hey, Katie Smith, this is very, very interesting to me. And we'll deep dive more into this, but my God, it's just explains Huxley. Yeah, I mean, Huxley definitely got to have more of a childhood for sure, because his dad and I both were like, he will not do Scientology. He will not our upbringing was terrible, and we agreed when we had him, like, he will make a choice when he's 18 what faith he wants to believe, and if it's Scientology, fine, but we were not going to push it on him. And it was slightly pushed. Hey, Lake Lady Mima, his grandparents pushed it on him a little bit. Huxley had a couple of sessions for sure, but that's it. He went to Scientology events all the time with me, and he would sit in the kids' room with the nanny. So like, he didn't do a lot of Scientology, but he did grow up for sure around Scientologists in the org for sure. Hey, Hux. Hey, Jeanette Brown. Yeah, I say I'm still a Scientologist in my head. I think it's going to take a long time for this to the layers to fall off. But I think I make progress every day, Heather. But absolutely, I would say in times of heavily like pressured situations for me, I would guess 100 times over my Scientology kicks in and I have to work to, nope, that's not how I'm going to react to this. And I think that's why, like, even all my ex mods, when that pressure situation happened, I was like, fuck off, then fuck off. And I treated them like shit. I think that's why. I'm using them as an example, but I've treated a lot of people that way in my life that had nothing to do with YouTube too. When high pressure situations happen in Scientology, what happens? What did my dad do? You're not my kid anymore. Bye. You pissed me off. Bye. We disconnect. It's nothing to us. It's a switch. Hey, dangerous journeyman. Jeff used to shit his pants all the time in that marriage because I've been like, okay, well, we'll just get divorced. And he's like, how do you just go from like, this isn't working, bye? Now, I obviously had a little bit of a different situation with the gestures, but he would say that to me a lot. Like, why isn't your solution to work on it? I did that to Tommy. I would say that to him a lot way back when, before things like in the beginning with Tommy, things were wonderful. Things were really good. Things started to get weird as time went on. But even in the beginning, I was like, okay, well, then this just isn't going to work. Like, that is my go to. It's like, fuck you, bye. I'm willing to admit that. QCJ says, what have you realized and learned about yourself that you now apply to raising Hucks? Oh, well, I can give that answer right away. Brit PM starring that because I can't read it yet. My big thing that I would say, I am doing everything the opposite. I always thought I'm not going to ever treat him the way I was treated, if that makes sense. Like, I know how I felt when my dad shamed me. I know how I felt because he never said, I'm proud of you. He never said, I love you. So I've always, God, I have so much cat hair on me and I'm sorry. I have always probably overdone that. Like, I love you. I'm really, really proud of you. And I want you to know that. I always check in with him every night. For the last few nights, especially, of course. I'm like, so what, what do you want to talk about? And we just sit and chat. I've made dinner. We just talk one-on-one. Sometimes he doesn't want to do that because he talks to some of his friends on his phone and he likes to work out. But I've been making a point to like make sure we're good and we talk a lot. We stay in touch. That may sound wild to you, but a 15-year-old boy doesn't necessarily want to chill with his mom. But luckily, Huxley and I are tight, and we do that. We do that. Do you think you put people out of your life before they had a chance to really hurt you? 100%. That is my go-to. When I start to feel like I'm getting hurt or the water's getting too hot, I'm like, okay, I'm out then. Bye. To avoid getting hurt? Absolutely yes. Absolutely yes. They must have had good dental care. You have beautiful teeth. Actually, no. These are, I got these done. When did I get these done, guys? This is composite veneers. It's like not the real expensive veneers. Hux? Hey, Hux? Can you let your sister out, please? Thank you. I had bad teeth. Actually, I did not have good teeth. I had my 4 front teeth done not that long ago. They must have had good dental care. Yeah. Thank you. Sorry, Jellycats. I was reading that again. Thank you for your super chat. Heather, thank you for your super sticker, babe. Thanks, son. Will I reach out to those mods? Here's the thing, Audrey. I thought about this a lot today. I was on the phone. I am on fire. Does anybody care if I show my fat arms? I'm really sorry, but I'm hot. I would love to reach out to those mods. I really would. I'd love to have a conversation with them one-on-one or 1-on-10. But I don't really want to do it on YouTube. I would, I guess I would. I don't want to agree to, I don't know. It doesn't feel appropriate to do it on YouTube. It feels appropriate to talk to them. They have blocked me. And even if they've unblocked me, I get a little bit nervous about people. This is just the honest answer. As much as people have trashed me lately, which I'm not saying I don't deserve it, but I'm afraid that they're going to go, how convenient. Here's Reese's screenshot of trying to reach out to me and making fun of it. I don't want that either. So it's kind of a cat hair. I've always been this way. I'm like allergic, I think. I don't know what the right thing to do is. If anybody has any suggestions, I'd love to clean that up on my end. Even if they continue to hate the shit out of me and not accept or forgive me, I would still at least like to say to them face to face on a call or anything, I want you to know I truly do apologize. But I don't know the best way to do it. 1, when you're blocked, and 2, when I'm not saying they're going to do this, but I think I get the impression that people would go, it's not real. It's not authentic. And so it's like, I don't know. I don't know what the best approach is. Katie, I want to say I heard a repeated phrase thrown at you, blaming your behavior on Scientology. I think this is a slur and not true. Trust yourself. Yeah, no, see, this is the problem. I can't do or say anything where everybody feels good about it. And that's something you have to accept in the public eye, whether it be YouTube or anywhere else. You're not going to please everybody. And no matter what I say, there's going to be people going, I don't buy it. She's full of shit. Nope, I'll never listen to what she has to say. Ever since this time, or ever since she hurt this person, fuck her. She's a liar. Don't believe her. So there's nothing I can do about that. Honestly, I can't do anything about that. Lisa Kelson, thank you, babe. Valerie, thank you. You are kind of a lurker. Thank you, babe. Yeah, I have really fat arms. I noticed lately they're getting fatter. Like, notice this, like, see this like curve? I don't like that. See that? See that like curve? I wish that didn't exist. Let's try to make it not exist. Let's see. See, kind of went away. If I like tuck the fat, what if I just sit like this? Would that look weird? It sure would. Yeah, it's a slippery slope. Yeah, Audrey says I would be feeling the same way. When you look at it through my eyes, I'm like, oh God, I don't know how to clean up the mess I've made. Honestly, I don't. And I did make the mess, but it's like so big now and out of control that I think I just have to accept that I made that mess and I won't get closure on it. I don't know how you reach out to people who have you blocked. And I also don't want to reach out to people who hate me and don't want to talk to me. I don't know. There's a lot of angles and variables. And I'm like, I'm sorry, maybe if they're watching, but that's not good enough. And we know that. Like, I would like to have a conversation. I really would. I loved those people. I just didn't fucking value them. There's a difference. Like, I really did love their personalities. They made me laugh. I trusted them. But the problem is, I wasn't in the real world long enough to value or care about non-Scientologists. I treated them like I would treat Scientologists. And other Scientologists are used to that kind of treatment. They just are. We all treat each other like shit. No one cares there. But then you take me out and put me in the real world, and I'm still being a Scientologist to people who actually care about me. I mistreated them. No fucking question. No question. But it's like, how do I now deal with that without people being like, sure. Like, I get it. I get why you would feel that way. So I feel like a little bit my hands are tied in a lot of ways, because if I reach out and then they just put it up, which is fine, put out any screenshot you want, but it's like, that doesn't solve the problem too. I would like to connect and apologize and say, I really cared and I treated you like shit. I'm sorry. I really feel bad for what I said and did to you. You were mistreated, but I don't think I'm going to get that opportunity. It's just like my dad. I'm never going to get to talk to him again. I have to live with that. I have to live with it. Yeah, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. It is kind of a double-edged sword. I don't know the best approach. I don't even know how I would do it. And yeah, I mean, a lot of people, including those people, probably wouldn't accept my apology anyway. And that is absolutely their right. Some want to claim that you didn't do much Scientology. That doesn't matter. It's a combo of Scientology, upbringing, surroundings. I mean, no, I didn't make it to the state of clear, but my God, I did a lot of Scientology, a lot. It was just not a lot of bridge progress work. It was a lot of ethics, a lot of PTS handlings, a lot of repair sessions, a lot of sec checks. It wasn't like, then I did my grades, then I did my OT levels. That's what the rich people get to do. The poor people are more just like kind of swimming through the mud of like, now we have to do this with you because you're a problem and you're poor. So it's just different. But no, I did a lot. I did a lot of Scientology. That is for sure. Rain, I can't. Send a message that you would like to speak to them. I'm totally blocked, which is fair. I'm totally blocked though. Text, Facebook, Instagram, anywhere. I'm totally blocked. So how would you deal with that? And I'm not being a victim here. I don't know how to deal with that. I don't know. All I can do is work on myself to be a better person. It's all I can do because I have been a shit person. I definitely treated people like shit. I definitely said harsh things. And I'm kind of, I think I've felt better now more than I ever have in a long time. Today has been the best possible day in a long time. I feel more free owning up and admitting to that truth. Whether they hear this or not, whether that's I mean, that's not good enough, and I get it because this is just me solving it for me. I haven't solved it for them. I haven't reached out one-on-one. But Andrew, but I have to say it feels good to come out here and just say, guys, like even my recent breakup, that wasn't all one-sided. Like there's everybody does damage to each other. It's never one-sided. It's never a one-way street. But it feels good to say, yes. Yes. If anybody comes out with the truth on me, believe it. Oh, I cannot express that enough. Believe it. If somebody says Reese is a piece of shit, I can't deny that. I can't say no. It made me think of Owen Wilson and Royal Tenenbaums. If anybody's seen that, he's on TV and the guy's interviewing him and he's like, have the Tenenbaums fallen on hard times? And he's like, I can't say no. I used to quote that all the time with my ex-husband, my first husband. It's such a fun movie to quote. Thank you, EKP13. In the real world, looks like it's going to be a good question. In the real world, do you tend to keep people at acquaintance length because you don't know yet how to friendship for real? I would say I did until recently. Now I've been on the phone the last couple of days with people I can lean on. I said last week, it's really, really cool and important to me now. I recognize it when people reach out now and go, "Are you okay? That was tough. Are you all right?" Of course, people have done that since I got out of Scientology, but I am just now looking at it going, do you know how good it feels that somebody gives a shit enough to check in on you? Do you know how good that feels? I never thought of it that way before because before I was like, yeah, I'm fine. Thanks. That's the Scientology approach. But now I'm like, yes. And thank you for asking. Can we talk? Like, I have reached back to people now and I'm like, this is a first for me. This is a first for me to go, are you available to talk? Can I talk to you? Like, it feels so good to like open up and appreciate their time. I feel differently about YouTube even right now. Like, there's over 1,000 people in here giving me your time. Even if you guys don't like me, if half of you are in here like watching because you don't like me, I still appreciate you and your time. You're listening to me and it's validating and it feels good. I appreciate it. I'm deeply, deeply grateful. And I'm not going to sit here and go, because people are going to go, well, she's just doing this for super chats. It is my job. And I acknowledge that. Yes, I make money doing this. And I'm very grateful for it. I've never asked for the money. People choose to super chat me or membership me or Venmo me or whatever it is. And I appreciate that. And I know I'm lucky that this is my job. It's amazing. I'm very lucky to get a super chat from Mar Lugo that she hands that to me, but I'm not going to be ashamed of it either. I'm not going to be ashamed of that. I love you too, Mary Barons. I'm lucky and I'm grateful that this channel has 20,000 people on it and 5 million views or whatever we're at. Hey, Puka Vista. I have DOA Loves Rainbows. You've learned to appreciate everyone, even the trolls. I'm not even going to call them trolls. They're people with differences of opinions. I love you too, Audrey. I feel like the Grinch, like my heart grew a little bit. I don't want to shame these people. And you know what? By calling them trolls, haters, that's shaming. I'm not fucking doing it. I'm taking the better route. Their parents, those people have kids. Those people have mothers, fathers. They matter too. Jesus Christ. We need to just acknowledge that. Oh, kid. Thanks, son. And I mean that. I mean that. Even the people who want me dead, who hate me, right? God, kid, your cat hair, your dander. Lord. Well, come on up then. Well, come on up then. Well, don't be silly. Give me that dander, girl. Give me the dander and the beehole shot. Give it all. Even starfish, yes, even starfish deserves love. Marlugo, I super chat at my will. Okay, fine. Not expecting to one day get it back. If somebody's questioning about your super chats, then they don't understand YouTube. And maybe they don't. But you're right. Like, this is Marlugo giving me a super chat. And Marlugo, thank you. It's no different to me than in a restaurant when you had a really good waitress or waiter and you give them more of a tip because you really appreciated what they did for you. You don't have to give a super chat. I say that all the time. But let's not ignore the elephant in the room. Yes, I make money. I make money doing this. I hope to make more money doing this. I hope to get sponsorships. I hope to grow my channel. But I'm also fully aware that this could totally flop. It could dry up. I never go on here going, here we go. Like it just is. Some nights I make super chats. Sometimes I don't. A gift isn't a contract. It's a gift. YouTube takes 30%, Heather Marie. Building community is so important. We aren't meant to be solitary creatures living independently. Yeah. We only bloom when we let others in and show up for them as well. We are meant to work and love together. I love this. I love this. It's true, Teresa. Like, connection is key. And I never had it before. I had it on the surface, but I didn't value it. There's a difference. I never valued connection. I really do now. And going forward, I really will. Whoever I end up with, hopefully one day, I really will. And I hope he really values me too. Thank you for that super chat, Teresa. Been an awe since the start. You're going far. Nothing but love. Thank you. Thank you for saying that, babe. What did you do for a living before you left Scientology? I worked in the senior living community, but before that, I had a eye care job. I worked for ophthalmologists. I was a tech, and I stopped doing that because the practice closed. And I was burnt out on it anyway. I did it for 12 years. I did everything in like fitting contacts and cataract surgery, LASIK surgery. It was fun, but it depends on the doctor you get. It depends on the doctor you work for. A lot of doctors are super cool, and a lot of doctors are really, really particular and hard to work for. But I enjoyed it. Thank you, Mara. Thank you for gifting a membership, babe. 30%. Yeah. That's why some people, Andrew, send me a Venmo or a PayPal because they're like, I don't want to give YouTube 30%. YouTube taking 30% of your video super chats is ridiculous when there are their own commercial breaks. Yeah, I know. Oh, interesting, Jedi Mormon. That's cool. Jennifer Corbell, whose watch are you wearing? It's a Red Line, is the brand. Red Line. I don't want to, Puka Vista. I got really burnt out on it. That's a great, I mean, I don't want to call people liars. Every single channel has the option to make money from content. Anyone saying they don't want that for their channel are liars. I mean, everybody wants to make money for sure. Yeah, I definitely want to make money. Jennifer, is this like something you're implying? Whose watch? What do you mean? Tommy gave me this watch. Almost all of my watches are from Tommy. Hey, Joe Virus. Totally true. Scientology, you're welcome, Jedi Mormon. It is a cool watch. Hey, Lilith. Yeah, I'm doing pretty good, actually. Scientology taught members to abuse each other and accept being abused. That's why ex-members are so easy to forgive abusers. Yes. Thank you, Jennifer Corbell. So glad you are no longer going to accept being abused from this point on. I really am not. But it goes both ways. I abused people. So I think the real thing, the interesting moral behind this that I recently learned is you're right. I'm not cool with abuse, but you can't just do that one-sided and go, I'm not cool with abuse. You have to also be that way. You can't be cool with giving it. And I have been abusive. I would call that abuse for sure. What else would you call it? So, yes, it goes both ways. I am not going to put up with that anymore. And I think that you're right. From a young age, that's what this therapist said today. He goes, no wonder you've never had boundaries. And he was like, your dad wasn't even there, but when he was there, he was totally like you were begging for his attention. Had to put up with it and you were willing to put up with it. And Scientology teaches us to put up with it. You don't quit, you put up with it, right? Yeah. Damn. Ooh, God, really? Ooh. I heard if you live in the UK, they take 50%. I was thinking about that. I hope YouTube doesn't change that. You know how like other places will change? Like we're going to start taking more. I mean, inflation, whatever. I'm like, God, is that going to change? Is it going to be like 40% one day? That sucks. Because the thing is, YouTube takes 30%. And when I have to pay 30% on that to the government. So as much as people think I'm like making billions of dollars, YouTube takes 30. Once I get my cut after that, I have to pay 30. That's a lot. It's a lot after it's all said and done. For my dad, he's been dropping hints the last few days. Oh, not surprised he came in the chat for the handkerchief. So acknowledging back through chat. I love that. I love that, babe. Thank you for saying that, Marlugo. Your dad. I wish I could have met him. Best Coast Life, welcome. Don't accept abuse. You were conditioned by the church and your damn father. Yeah. Can you get a cash app so you're not charged? I don't know what that means. I mean, I've heard people say cash app. What does that mean? Is that an app? Like Apple Cash? I don't know. Good for you, Info Dump Truck. Is Scientology sexist? Does gender come into play at all? I don't really feel like they are. Not really. I don't feel like they're sexist. Everybody's pretty mean in Scientology. Cash App is like Venmo. I have Venmo and PayPal, Christy. Yeah. I have both of those, but you still have to pay 30% on that to the government. That's not free money. So it's great. I'm appreciative of it all, but I'm just saying YouTube does take a big cut. But even if you Venmo or PayPal, any money I make on here, I have to pay 30% of to the IRS. God has a plan for you, Reese. Praying for your heart to heal and for brighter days ahead. Saved by grace. I believe that 100%. Thank you for that. Thank you for your super chat. GABA is effective for me around the world. It's not about the money. It's about the therapy we get from watching you share on your channel. I appreciate you saying that. Jennifer. Crappy behavior and criminal behavior is not the same thing, though. But at the moment, some people don't seem to be able to tell the difference. And that's okay. Let them. That's okay. Either way, it's bad behavior. I'll say that. It is bad behavior. Raymond says, strongly disagree. Andrew, strongly disagree. There are different rules for women than men. They have very 1950s ideas about sex, period. So how could it not be sexist? Well, that may be true. But as far as men and women being treated differently, I didn't witness that. They seem to train female Scientologists to shut up and deal with it, males to be aggressive. That's not true at all. Not in my experience, Raymond. Maybe in other people's, not mine. Female Scientologists, the females were super aggressive. You are the first membership I've ever bought because I've been there. Jennifer, that's so nice. Thank you for that. Yeah, I would agree with this. When I first saw you, your eyes looked straight through the camera, cold eyes. Don't have those eyes anymore. And that's a good point. That also ties in with why I treated people and didn't value them well, right? When I first got here on the scene, I was kind of still dead behind the eyes. Like there wasn't a lot to me. I was still a very active soldier Scientologist, just a robot, right? So, of course, all these friendships and good people flocked to me. And that's who my mods were. Good friendships and people that I trashed and didn't value. It has nothing to do with them. They were good people. I was the shit. I didn't know how to treat them. I didn't know how to value them. I was dead behind the fucking eyes still, right? People should transfer the money if they want to donate to Reese. She'd get it all. Yeah, I mean, when you Venmo me, I don't have to pay 30% to YouTube. Yes, she did. Yes, she did, Sue Linder. Genuine question. God, this cat here. Do you think there are wait, do you think you are there for your friends in the same way they are there for you? I do now. This is a problem my mom had due to trauma. No, and the answer to that is no. Not always at all. Thank you, Mags. Not always, but now I am. Like, even my friend today said something to me, and I wrote her back and I said, I'm sorry this has been all about my problems for the last few days. Like, I said, how's your mom doing? Like, I definitely am like, don't I'm way more aware of like that was Bo dreaming, Armine. I'm way more aware of not just thanks folks Dexter, not just being one-sided, me, here's my problems. No, I definitely care, and it matters to me, the whole idea of like, tell me about you. As a matter of fact, to me it's a red flag now if I make a new friend and the person's like, so tell me about Aaron Smith Levin. I'm like, nope, red flag, bye. Like, you're just fishing for stuff with me. Tell me about what really happened there. It's like, how about you tell me about you? Because I want to know about you. I don't want to tell you everything about me. You know everything about me. If you watch the channel, you know everything. I want to know about you. So I think it's more of a red flag too if it's only one sided. Like, I want to get to know you too, right? I have been watching you from before you were docs. You've changed and grown so much in that time. You've been through a lot in that short time. Thank you. I will say that's probably true. That's probably true. I have probably been through a lot. My birthday is on the 7th, and I received a birthday card from Reese that made me smile. And I am surprised she took the time for the gesture, considering everything she's dealing with. I sent you a birthday card, and I sent Liz Trix a birthday card. I did. Thank you, Raymond. And I'm glad you got it. I hope you loved it because it has Measers all over it. It has Siamese cats all over it. Bye, Rain Virus. Love you. Now people are going to get mad that I don't send them cards. I had their addresses. I don't want to ask people for their addresses, but yes and no, I went and dropped off your cards and I hope you liked it. So I can co-sign that she's a pretty good regular friend in my experience, but I wasn't always. I appreciate you saying that, Raymond, but let's be real. I wasn't always. I've not always been a good friend to people. And they say that, if they come out with something, believe it. Believe it. Believe it. It's the truth. I was always a shitty Scientology friend until recently. That I can see people for who they are, meet them where they're at, want to get to know them, love them for all their flaws, not judge them, all those things. Hey, Joe Mama, I want to do those things now. I want to explore and discover about you, but I don't want to be a shithead. And I'm not going to do that anymore. Buffy, happy early birthday. Absolutely. That's true. And that's a thing in the world. I feel like it's something a lot of people do. We struggle with talking so much about ourselves, we forget to check in with others. I do hate that. Like, even if you just meet a person, it's kind of a turnoff when people are just like me, and never ask a thing about you. It's like, okay, I don't like that. I like it to be very balanced. I really do. I'm sorry, Audrey. I'll get one of those to you. Thank you, Miranda Lee. Thank you for being here. We are not always bad. We make bad choices, but not 100% of the time. We wouldn't be where we are, where you are. Wait, we wouldn't be where you are if you were. Yeah, that's true, Kim Watts. I agree with you on that. Angie, here's to closer and more quality friendships. And you're one of them, girl. I love you. Thank you, Jay Birdie. Thank you for your super chat, babe. Guys, on that note, I can't believe I did 2 hours again. Wow. Say I'm becoming a better friend. Take credit. Thank you, DP. I am trying. It matters to me now. You can't force somebody to do anything. It's like telling someone to quit smoking. Great. People only change when they want to. That's what Mel Robbins says. And I agree with that so much. People only change when they feel like it. I didn't feel like being a good friend. It wasn't even on my radar. I had to come to the realization on my own. And now that I have, I deeply apologize to anybody I've hurt. I know that's not good enough. I'd love to have a phone call with you. But even the hardcore people that don't like me, that I've made fun of and laughed at and mocked, that's on me. And I apologize. I'm not doing it anymore. I won't even be tempted because now that I've realized this, I don't want to. I don't want to. They're human beings. Hey, Sabrina, they're people. And honestly, that also applies to Tommy. That's why I've said I will not trash him again. This was never about that. I loved him very much. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to be a disservice to him. I loved him and I respect him going his separate way and me going mine. And I will not continue to do that on my channel. Hey, Don Lori. That goes for everybody, is what I'm trying to say. Even the guy that really, really, really hates me. That goes for everybody. It's across the boards. I'm cutting that shit off. I don't want to be part of that problem. I don't want to be part of the hate, calling people names. I'm not going to be mixed in with that. Hey, Kim L. My God, Dangerous Journeyman. Happy birthday to you. Angie Mo. Yeah, remember only the good parts, not the bad. From personal experience, I can say Reese has grown into a very caring and reliable friend. Proud mama. Aw. Thank you, Helena. That means a lot to me, babe. Thank you. Thank you for saying that. I'm trying. I want to be a better friend. I'm trying. Thank you for your super chat, babe. Don Lori, thanks for being a member. On that note, guys, live and let live. Yes, Robin Miners, 100%. And that's what we're going to do going forward. And I will stay away from men, I promise. Hey, True to It. Thank you, Jennifer Corbell. You do the same. Guys, Mary Barons, I love you. And guys, I mean it. Thank you for being here. Please hit subscribe. YouTube unsubscribes you. Sassy Savage, love you, girl. But I mean it. I really mean everything I said tonight. So thank you for listening to me. Thank you for your time. Lisa Tate, that's awesome. Thank you for gifting a membership. I mean it, guys. It's all we can do. It's all we can do is build ourselves up and be better and treat people right, meet people where they're at, respect people. It's all about that for me too right now. Respect people, respect their choices. Even the people who hate me, I respect that. It's fair. You have reason to do that. A lot of you have reasons to hate me. It's not just blind hate. I know that. And I apologize. Kestrel, I love you. Goosebump. Laura Estrada, thank you. Laura Estrada, wow, thank you. All right, guys, I will see everybody tomorrow. And thank you for listening to me tonight. Thank you for your super chats. As always, thank you for your memberships. But most important, thank you for your time and your wisdom. That's how I heal, honestly. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And here comes Fred.